Hello all, welcome to your schemes. I'm Ilakya. I hope you are all doing well. Today we are going to see top 10 blue chip mutual funds to invest this year. Before we start, for those who are new, let's first understand what is a blue chip fund. A blue chip fund invests in stocks of well established companies with a credible track record of financial performance, which also pays out dividends. It is renowned by their name or brand, which needs a little introduction. Some of the blue chip stocks are SBI, Bharti Airtel, TCS, Reliance, Hindustan Unilever Limited, Amazon, Apple. These are all renowned by name and brand. And these companies also pays out dividends. Blue chip funds have the highest value. These offer steady growth and stability. Simply, we can say blue chips are reliable investments. Who should invest in these schemes? Long-term investors who want reliable returns with low risk can go for blue chip mutual fund. This video is for information purpose only. Mutual funds are subject to market risk. The return shown in this list doesn't guarantee future returns. Please consult your financial advisor before investing. Let's start with Canara Robeco Blue Chip Fund. The fund size of this scheme is 10,090 crores. The current NAV is 52.58 rupees and the expense ratio 0.45%. Minimum SIP investment amount is rupees 1000. Minimum lump sum investment amount is rupees 5000. It gave a 1-year return of 17.13%, 3-year return of 19.56%, whereas the 5-year return is 14.77%, and its return since launch is 12.43%. Top holdings under this scheme is HDFC Bank Limited, ICICI Bank Limited, Infosys Limited, Reliance Industries, Larsen and Toubro Limited. A monthly SIP investment of rupees 1000 made on September 2020 would have been 36,000 total investment. Latest value 43,382 rupees. This is with an annualized return of 12.48%. Next is Baroda BNB Paribas Large Cap Fund. The fund size of this scheme is 1490 crore. NAV is 183 rupees. Expense ratio is 0.95%. Minimum SIP investment amount rupees 500. Minimum lump sum investment amount is rupees 5000. It gave a 1-year return of 20.24%. 3-year return is 21.06%, whereas 5-year return is 16.34%. Its return since launch is 15.19%. Top holdings under this scheme is HDFC Bank Limited, ICICI Bank, Reliance Industries Limited, L&T Limited. A monthly investment of rupees 10,000 made on September 2020. The total investment would have been 3.6 lakh. Latest value 4.49 lakh. Next on the list is Nippon India Large Cap Fund. The AUM of this scheme is 15,855 crores. The current NAV is rupees 72. Expense ratio 0.9%. Minimum SIP investment amount is rupees 1000. Minimum lump sum investment amount is rupees 100. 1-year return of this fund is 27.24%, whereas 3-year return is 30.67%. 5-year return 16.2%. Return since launch is 15.96%. Top holdings HDFC Bank, ICICI Limited, Reliance Industries, SBI. A monthly investment of rupees 10,000 made on September 2020 would have been a total of 3.6 lakh. Current value 5.03 lakh. Profit that you have made would be 1.43 lakh. Dear friends, before we proceed, if you feel this video is informative, then please take a minute and like this video. It will be a great motivation for me. Let's continue. Let's move on to Kotak Blue Chip Fund. The fund size of this scheme is 6,370 crores. The NAV is 479. Expense ratio 0.59%. Minimum SIP investment amount is rupees 1000. Minimum lump sum investment amount is rupees 5000. It gave a return of 19% in 1 year, 21.51% in 3 year, 15.73% in 5 year, and return since launch for this fund is 14.51%. Top holdings: HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Reliance Industries Limited, Infosys Limited. 10,000 monthly SIP made on September 2020 would have been 3.6 lakh. Total investment current value would have been 4.46 lakh, and the profit that you have made in 3 years would be 85,914 rupees. Next on the list is SBI Blue Chip Fund. The fund size of this scheme is 38,881 crores. The NAV of this scheme is 78 rupees. Expense ratio 0.88%. Minimum SIP investment amount is rupees 500. Lump sum investment amount is rupees 5,000. 1 year return for this fund is 20.36%. 3 year return is 23.47%. 5-year return is 15.4%, whereas the return since launch is 15.38%. Top holdings under this scheme: HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, ITC Limited, Larsen & Toubro Limited. A monthly SIP of rupees 10,000. Total investment would have been 3.6 lakh. Current value 4.52 lakh. The profit that you have made in 3 years would have been 91,912 rupees. Dear friends, if you want more returns, much more higher returns, then you can watch this video on your screen. I will be providing the link in the description box. Let's continue. Next on the list is Edelweiss Large Cap Fund. The AUM of this scheme is 531 crores. NAV is 71 rupees. Expense ratio is 0.83%. Minimum SIP investment amount rupees 100. Minimum lump sum investment amount is rupees 5000. It gave a 1 year return of 22.84% and 3 year return is 22.23%, whereas the 5 year return is 15.41%. Return since launch 14.72%. Top holdings under the scheme: HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Reliance Industries and ITC Limited. 10,000 monthly SIP. The total investment would have been 3.6 lakh. Current value of the fund 4.57 lakh. The profit that you have made in 3 years is 97,087 rupees. Next on the list is ICICI Prudential Blue Chip Fund. The fund size of this scheme is 40,079 crores. The NAV of this scheme is 86.16. The expense ratio 1.02%. Minimum SIP amount is rupees 100. Minimum lump sum investment amount is rupees 100. It gave a return of 22.75% in 1 year, 24.77% in 3 years, 15.21% in 5 years, and the return since launch for this fund is 15.28%. Top stock holdings under this scheme is ICICI Bank, Larsen & Toubro, Reliance Industries Limited, Infosys Limited. A monthly SIP of rupees 10,000 made on September 2020 would have been a total of 3.6 lakh, and the current value 4.67 lakh. The profit that you have made in 3 years is 1.07 lakh. Next on the list is Invesco India Large Cap Fund. The AUM of this scheme is 797 crores. The NAV is 58 rupees. Expense ratio 0.84%. Minimum SIP amount rupees 500. Minimum lump sum investment amount is rupees 1000. It gave a return of 19.23% in 1 year, 20.63% in 3 years, and 14.74% in 5 years. The return since launch for this fund is 14.84%. Top holdings under this scheme: HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Infosys Limited, Reliance Industries Limited. 10,000 SIP made on September 2020 would have been a total investment of 3.6 lakh, current value 4.48 lakh, and the profit in 3 years would have been 87,575 rupees. Next on the list is Tata Large Cap Fund. The fund size of this scheme is rupees 1593 crores. The NAV of this scheme is 428 rupees. Expense ratio 1.22%. Minimum SIP investment amount rupees 500. Minimum lump sum investment amount rupees 5000. It gave a 1-year return of 19.73% and 3-year return is 23.44%. 5-year return 14.66%. Return since launch for this fund is 13.53%. Top holdings under this scheme is HDFC Bank Limited, Reliance Industries Limited, ICICI Bank Limited, Infosys Limited. A monthly SIP investment of rupees 10,000 made on September 2020 would have been a total investment of 3.6 lakh, current value 4.5 lakh. The profit that you would have been made is 89,809 rupees. Next on the list is HDFC Top 100 Fund. The AUM of this scheme is 25,423 crores. NAV is 931 rupees. Expense ratio 1.11%. Minimum SIP investment amount is rupees 100. Minimum lump sum investment amount is also rupees 100. It gave a return of 25.77% in 1 year, 27.22% in 3 years, and 14.35% in 5 years. The return since launch for this fund is 13.93%. Top holdings under this scheme: HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Reliance Industries, and ITC Limited. A monthly investment of 10,000 made on September 2020 would have been a total investment of 3.6 lakh, current value 4.78 lakh. The profit that you have made in 3 years would have been 1.18 lakh. As I've already mentioned, blue chip funds are of lower risk and it has lower volatility. It gives you reliable returns and dividends. However, please note that these gives you lower returns because these companies are already well established and there is lesser room to grow. And also, the funds are pretty expensive due to high demand. If you feel this information was helpful, then please hit the like button. It will motivate me to make more similar videos for you. Also, please share it with your friends. Please don't forget to subscribe to Your Schemes. It means a lot. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.